So I've made a few treats already. Smoked trout mousse on buckwheat blinis, and then a white bean salad that I'm serving in patty pan squash cups. Now for the recipe I've really been looking forward to, pizza. Start with 3/4 of a cup of tepid water. It should be just above body temperature. Then it's an ideal condition for the yeast to grow. 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast, a cup of all-purpose flour, and a cup of spelt flour. Spelt has a lower gluten content to it than all-purpose flour, and I find that lends to a super crispy crust. Bit of salt, a teaspoon, and I just make sure I keep the salt away from direct contact with the yeast. And 3 tablespoons of olive oil. There we go. I like to stir it just until the dough comes together. You do need to give it a little kneading time, just to exercise the gluten so the dough is easy to handle. And as soon as it sort of just stops sticking to your hands, that's when you stop adding flour to it. The dough's sort of got a nice smooth surface to it, so I know it's been kneaded enough. Just put a splash of oil in the bowl. And let this sit covered for just half an hour in a draft-free place that's nice and warm. Up here on top of the oven would make the most sense. I like cremini mushrooms for pizza. I like to cook my mushrooms. I don't put them on raw because I find in the short time they're in the oven, the mushrooms don't cook fully, and in fact they kind of dry out a little. So I like to saute them and build in some flavor at the same time. A little splash of olive oil. I like to saute my mushrooms on high heat, so I've got it on high. A touch of salt now. And now that those are cooked, add a little garlic. Garlic and mushrooms. I love artichokes on pizza. And I'll drain these. These are the marinated artichokes, so they've got a nice tang to them. I just drain the artichokes. I don't wash them off. I want to keep that flavor in there. But they're tender, so they're easy to eat on top of the pizza. And I'll shut off the heat. I just want to warm the artichokes in with the mushrooms. This is a bit of an Anna touch, a little bit of lemon zest, just to keep the flavors light. So I'll let this cool while the dough proofs, and then it'll be time to roll and bake some pizzas. Now, this isn't the kind of pizza dough you can throw in the air and spin around, but this is a great dough to roll thinly. Look at that, in just half an hour, how it doubles in size. I'll make 2 individual pizzas. And you can be tough with your pizza dough. You don't have to be delicate or tender with it. Push it to its limits. Get it as thin as you can. So to help prevent it sticking, I find cornmeal works better than flour. And now for the toppings. Now I'm not using conventional tomato sauce on this pizza, so I've got some homemade pesto here, but I'm not just going to put the plain pesto on. I'll stir it with a little sour cream. Anywhere I can work in sour cream, I will do it. So pretty much a 2-to-1 ratio, sour cream to pesto. You have to use full fat sour cream. Low fat would just turn to water and sog out the crust. Thinly sliced prosciutto. And the key to this pizza is some of the toppings go on now, and some go on when the pizza comes out of the oven. And And then I'll add the cooled mushroom artichoke mixture. Well, I've got the oven cranked to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. And frost, this is only going to take, under 10 minutes in the oven. And now the hardest part, to wait. Now that's good eating. Some Parmesan cheese now, while it's hot, so it sort of melts on there and sticks. I want to eat it right now, but I'm gonna try and wait.